Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Augusta. We're so glad you're here. Our mission is what brings us together, to create beloved community where roots hold us close and wings set us all free. My name is Abigail Drescher, and today I'm co-creating this service with Chris Garcia and our music director, Josef Patchen, the folks running our tech deck, and all of you. We are all shaping this moment together. In honor of this sacred moment and respect for each other, would you please put your devices on worship mode, aka silent. In the unlikely case of emergency, please move with care for others toward the exit directly outside this door. If you're a first-time visitor today, please stop by the greeters table after our service. Our membership coordinator, Fern Smith, would love to chat with you. She in here? She was here today, but she's just outside the door. Many of you probably already saw her. The blue card in the seat pocket in front of you can be a great guide for that conversation. You're also invited to join us for coffee and snacks after worship in the common room. Except today, we have lots more going on than just coffee and snacks. Please come peruse all of the tables and learn about all of the amazing groups and activities and programs here at our church. Existing community members will know newcomers by their green or red name tags. These different colors indicate how comfortable folks are engaging as they explore a new experience. Green means, please talk to me, speak with me. Let's get to know each other right away. Red means, say hi, but I prefer to get to know folks more slowly over time. And for those of you on Zoom, please consider staying online after the service to chat and connect with each other. All right. Our chalice lighting is May Your Call Be Awakened by Michelle LaGrave. We come to religious community from many paths and with diverse needs. If you have come here seeking comfort, may your pain be soothed. If you have come here looking for answers, may you find new questions. If you have come here seeking purpose, may your call be awakened. If you have come here hoping to build a new way, may the path open before you. Teamwork and community.
Would you rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, Still My Soul? I'll play it all the way through once. It's just a new hymn, and we'll sing it through twice.
Good morning. My name is Patchen Hayes, she, her. I'm a member of your pastoral care team. This is the time in our service when those who have joys or sorrows that have recently come into their lives and want to share them with the rest of us, to please begin lining up here on my right. Those on Zoom who wish to share, look for the reactions button and raise your hand and be prepared to unmute yourselves. I'll drop the first stone for all those who can't be here with us today. And let me take just a moment to be a little pastoral with you. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm in the congregation for. When we share these joys and sorrows, we're opening our hearts to those of the rest of us. This can be a very spiritual part in building community. They can be followed up later on in the common room or at greater length with our wonderful healing circles. As part of that, let me encourage you to give us like bullet points. Give us the nub of what you want to share, because longer presentations, sometimes when people are first hearing it, they can get lost in what you're trying to say. So if you will try to give us the nub of that, it will give the rest of us a little bit more help in trying to respond to you. Please, if you wish to acknowledge a joy or sorrow, you can clap if it's a joy, or just hand over heart if it's a sorrow. These are personal comments, so they're not being recorded. You can also reach pastoral care at uuaugusta.org, or there are green cards in the chair slips and a box out of the front desk that you can reach us, or you can just nab any of us. You see us all on a rotating basis here every Sunday.
While I'm up here, I want to steal a minute to give a plug for the meditation group. Yeah. For those who don't know, we meet here on Monday, tomorrow. Me or someone usually unlocks the door at 6:30, usually a kitchen door, and people gather between 6:30 to 7, and we meditate together from 7 to 8. If you don't know how to meditate and you're curious about it, please come and we'll teach you how. Also, if you're curious about it, I'll be at a table there in the common room along with others, if you want to ask me about the meditation group. Speaking of meditation, this is a meditation some of you have heard me offer before. It's called Nikon. This is a Japanese meditation, comes from the Zen tradition, and we're going to do this together. So, beginning with posture, as much as possible, depending on your health, try to sit as straight as you can. One of the tricks to sitting up straight in a chair is to move yourself to the front of the chair so that your sitting bones are right on the edge of the chair, and that'll pull you straight. And get settled. 3 conscious breaths. Take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. Listen to the sound of your breath. Another deep breath. Exhale slowly. One more. Nikon, 3 questions. Ask yourself, what have I given? What have I given today? This is not abstract. This is like, what have you actually given that you can point to that you've given so far today? What have you given, actually? What have you received? What have you received, actually, today? Last question. So far, what have you done today, actually done? And I'll offer one more question to that, and then I'll give you the answer. What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? There is only one thing that you're doing right now. You're sitting in a chair. Mhm.
When I came in today, I was so excited to see all of the tables that were out today. Some had bright, sparkly tablecloths, some had some more calmer tablecloths, but it was just so exciting to see all of those tables out there today, from the garden club to the meditation club to the women's book group or women's lunch group. And there's my favorite group with their acronym Romeo, Retired Old Men Eating Out. Pretty awesome acronym. So yes, so there are lots of amazing programs here in this community. And when you're giving today as you are able, please consider, all of these groups that are part of this community, that are part of your community, that are here for you, and that benefit from this building, from this space, from our outdoor space. So please give as you can today, but also please make sure to stick around after the service and see how you can grow your community here in this space. As we accept this offering, cash and checks are gratefully received, or you may use the text to give using the information on the screens. Would the ushers please come forward? Thank you for your generosity.
Joe Patchen, man, what other church service you gonna hear something like that? Great. The slide here says Quod Est Est. My shirt says Quod Est Quod Id Est, which means it is what it is. Can't actually, the Latin, you don't really say it like that. You say what is. The other title, I've been thinking about it, The Art of Living. It sounds kind of pretentious, like I know something. I'm not a very good artist, and my life is at least as messy as a lot of people are today. And as you hear from Joys and Sorrows, a lot of people are carrying a heavy burden. So I'm not somebody coming down from the mountain to reveal to you how to fix your personal self-improvement project. You know, I'm as hungry as anybody here. I'm trying to find answers. And when you try to find answers, you come across things. So I have a couple things that I've come across that I would like to present to you. Like that great Unitarian Rod Serling used to say on Twilight Zone, presented for your consideration. So, here's the deal. Your capacity for personal growth, your capacity for spiritual growth is commensurate with your capacity to be with discomfort. That's the equation. That is the equation of spiritual practice. If there's any equation to the art of living, it would be that. Your capacity for personal growth is commensurate with your capacity to be with discomfort. And people here who are caregivers, people here who are taking care of somebody else who needs help, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't even need to have it explained to you. You live this every day. You have pain in life and you have suffering. The thing you need to start to know is that pain is part of being a living creature. From the smallest microbe to a human being, pain and death and sickness are just part of the privilege of being alive. Suffering, on the other hand, is optional. Think about that. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain is exterior. Pain is what happens to you. Suffering is what you do. Because we live on the same planet, but we're not living in the same world. That's the difference. Every person here, me, all of you, each one of us is living in our own world, our own little bubble of reality. When you practice meditation over time, you start to realize that a lot of what you think about the world is not the way the world really is. So we're carrying around our own perceptions. You have experience of pain or joy, and then your perception of your experience becomes your storyline, your narrative of how you see the world. Every one of us here has a kind of a monologue going on in our head from moment to moment of what we're experiencing and what it means to us. Each moment we're building that world, and suffering is a part of how we perceive what's happening in our life. Pain is what happens. Your interpretation of your experience is how you create your world. You can't do much about pain. It's going to happen. Can't do much about death. That's going to happen too. And once you cross 70 years old, the numbers start to scare you. It's going to happen. So in the meditation group, sometimes we like to say that you're not here to become good meditators. Nobody cares about that. What you're really here to do is to become skillful sufferers. See? Oh, yeah. You're here to become skillful sufferers, where you don't get knocked off the rail when something unexpected happens to you. So, the reason these two belief systems got my attention is because they're not telling you what to believe. They're telling you what to do. Now, to me, that's very important. I'm suspicious of people who tell me what I should be believing. I want to know what to do. You take the example of Buddha. Buddha was a mortal man. He started out as a prince, Siddhartha Gautama. He led a very privileged life with a minimum of suffering and pain. He snuck out of the palace with his charioteer and he saw a dead man. He saw a very sick man. He saw a woman with a child who was impoverished and couldn't take care of her family. And he began to realize he didn't know nothing. He didn't know nothing. And he had the gumption to be hungry and try to fix that. And he broke through. He broke through. Now, when I was growing up, my Christian relatives would talk about Jesus as being God dressed up like a human being, just like your dad dressing up to be Santa Claus or something. And then he went out and lived a sinful life. Oh, hell. Who cares? What else? If you're God, what else would you do? Doesn't do anything for me. But if Jesus is an ordinary man, if he's a mortal man, if he's not even a very nice man, and then he finds a way to break through to the other side, I want to know that. That's interesting. What did he do? Maybe I can do that. See? Suffering is optional. How do you manage suffering? If suffering is what you perceive, maybe there's something you can do. Maybe there's a way to manage that so it doesn't change you in ways that you don't want to be changed. As somebody who has a kind of chronic pain right now, I can tell you that chronic pain affects your personality. It affects your thinking. When you see somebody who's kind of crabby or mean, you got to remember there's probably something that's hurting in them and distorting how they see the world. But that is something that you can manage if you can learn how to be with discomfort. So, slide 2. I came across two belief systems that arrived at almost exactly the same conclusions about suffering and almost exactly the same ideas about how to manage it. One is Tibetan Buddhism, which I've had an interest in for a long time. If you were here a couple of weeks ago, there's a very interesting dialogue between Reverend Nick and Natasha Bowden about Tibetan Buddhism. The other belief system, which I came across recently, is Greek Stoicism. Usually when you hear the word stoic, you think about somebody who's just kind of sucking up the pain, you know. Suck up the pain, don't explain, don't complain. That's Stoicism with a little s. Stoicism with a capital S is a philosophy that goes back 3,000 years, right about the same time that Buddhism was developing. Something was going on in the world at that time. So, in Buddhism, you have slide 3. You have the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths are defining the problem that you're trying to solve. When you can define the problem that you're trying to solve, when you can name it, that's your first handle to finding a way. The Four Noble Truths outline the problem of suffering. The first one is the truth of suffering, which is that life, as Buddha discovered outside the palace, there is pain, and there is sickness, and there is death, and you got nothing to say about that, it's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. And it's not gonna happen when it's convenient for you. It's gonna happen. Suffering, though. But suffering, what is the truth of suffering? Well, if suffering is optional, then you have to ask, what are the causes of suffering? Not what is the cause of pain, what is the cause of suffering? And if we can find out what the causes of suffering are, then you have the third noble truth. How can we find a way to mitigate the causes of suffering? And then when you can find a way to understand the causes of suffering, you look for a way to mitigate suffering, and that comes to the fourth noble truth, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path is a list of Buddhist ethics, what to do, what to say, what to think. In yoga, there are two terms you hear, yama and niyama. Yama are the external ethics of living. Don't kill, don't cause harm, don't steal, things that you should not do. Niyama is the interior world of ethics. You know, be aware, be generous, be kind. Interior ethics. That is the Noble Eightfold Path. The reason that Buddhism associated so much with meditation is because one of the causes of suffering, one of the causes of suffering, in Buddhism, the causes of suffering are attachment and aversion and the fundamental impermanence of life. Attachment, aversion, and impermanence, or ignorance of the nature of life and the nature of mind. So, in defense of attachment, every living thing, right down to the smallest bug, wants to avoid pain and have the things that it likes to survive. Next time you try to step on a cockroach, look how badly that cockroach wants to live. That cockroach does not want to die any more than you do. So aversion and attachment are a natural part of evolution. Impermanence is also the natural condition of the world. Those are three things that are unavoidable. But in meditation and in Buddhist ethics, what you try to do is manage these things so that they don't cause undue suffering. These things which are natural to being a living thing, aversion, attachment, and impermanence, are things that can also be managed. You can't avoid them, but you can manage them. And that's what the Eightfold Path is all about. Now, in Stoicism, you have the four causes of suffering. Well, three causes in Greek Stoicism. Greek Stoicism, which later on was adapted by the Roman Empire and became part of the ethics and morality of the Roman Empire, especially the educated Roman elite. The three causes of suffering in Stoicism are dichotomy of control, amor fati, and memento mori. What's that? So, dichotomy of control. Here's an example of what a few years ago, back in the day, I met a professional diver for Gulf Oil. I never met a professional diver before. And I asked him a lot of questions about what it was like, to be a professional diver for a big company like Gulf Oil. And I asked him, what is the scariest thing ever happened to you when you were working on the bottom of the ocean there? And he said, well, there was this one time I was sent down to work on a pipe, make sure there weren't any leaks or anything, and a 12-foot hammerhead shark came up and he started circling around me. I said, "Whoa, what'd you do?" He said, "I didn't do anything." If he's going to bite you, there is nothing you can do to stop him. You got nothing. So why worry about it? That's interesting. He said, I just went back to work on my pipe and I didn't look at him. And I looked up a while later and he'd gone away. That is dichotomy of control. In other words, you run into a situation like a 12-foot hammerhead shark circling around you underwater, and you think, is this my problem? Well, yeah, it kind of is. Okay, it's my problem. Can I do anything to fix it? No. There's nothing you can do. Shit's gonna happen. Okay, well, I guess I'll work on my pipe. You know, most animals are very reasonable. If you don't bother them, they won't bother you. And I guess the shark lost interest and he went away. That is dichotomy of control. Is this my problem? No. All right. Is it your problem? Yeah. Can you fix it? No. All right. Can you fix it? Yeah. Get off your ass. Fix it. All right. That's very straightforward. Amor fati. What is amor fati? It means literally it means the love of fate, which sounds weird, especially if you don't believe in fate. But amor fati corresponds to the Buddhist idea of impermanence. In other words, you can't get past the fact that whatever exists is going to pass away. Whatever situation you're experiencing, good or bad, you like it, you don't like it, it's going to pass away. They say love lives forever. I don't know. I think love is sometimes the most impermanent thing. The people you love, the people who are very important to you, so many of them in your life have gone downstream and you'll never see them again. Or maybe you still see them, but it's not like it used to be. And so you have to navigate the fact that the things that you love and want, you're going to lose them. The things that are bugging you and making you miserable, sooner or later, they're going to change too. Nothing stays the same. In Buddhism, there are things that are permanent because they are not created. And there's almost no such thing. Anything that is created is by nature impermanent. It doesn't have an inherent nature. So anything that is created will inevitably pass away. Amor fati, one way of looking at love of fate. Oh, wow, cool. Is that my problem? No. Okay. Good boss. Keep an eye on you. So, the obstacle is the path. The obstacle is the path. When Buddha was Siddhartha Gautama, living an easy, privileged life, he didn't grow very much. He was probably not a very interesting person. But once he got into the world and saw how hard life can be, then he became hungry, then he became interested. So amor fati means that you love the world as it is. You try to embrace your life as it is, without judgment. Memento mori, remember death. It's a way of saying to yourself, appreciate the time that you have. When I crossed 70 years old, my parents, now I'm 73, my mother died a year after the age I am now. She died when she was 74. My father died when he was 75. Jesus, how much time have I got? A year, 2 years? What if I make it to 80? That's 7 years. I've been in this church longer than 7 years. 7 years is nothing. Wow. If I'm going to reach enlightenment, I better get busy. I've been working at it and I haven't done it yet. That's a tall mountain. Well, I guess I just have to accept my life as it is. How you doing, Wasp? All right. So, memento mori means no time to waste, because you're going to die. And we don't think about it, but you got to make your peace with the fact that something else is going to happen to you. So, Buddhism has a worldview and it has its ethics. Greek Stoicism has a worldview and it has its ethics. Slide 4. The Greek Stoic virtues, the answers to the difficulties in life, are wisdom, temperance, justice, and courage. The idea is that if you could develop over time excellence of character, that you would be able to manage your life better. In Buddhism, they talk about enlightenment or nirvana. In Stoicism, they talk about eudaimonia, which means inner harmony or inner peace, being your highest self. So, I'm running a little out of time here, but what I want to emphasize is that a virtuous life is an end in itself. It's not about being a goody-goody so you can go to heaven while everybody else burns. To live a virtuous life is how you manage the reality of impermanence, amor fati, memento mori, by trying to create a noble character that doesn't cause friction in relationships or is able to minimize friction in relationships. You have a better chance of being a happy person. Now, I want to close with one more thing. I'm not here to teach you how to be a Buddhist or a Stoic, because you could spend your whole lifetime learning that. But I want to give some recommendations. If you're interested in learning about Greek Stoicism, one good source is Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday, just like the word holiday. He has a podcast called The Daily Stoic. And also he has his own lectures on YouTube. He's written about a dozen books on Stoicism. One of the best books is called The Obstacle is the Path. So Ryan Holiday, The Daily Stoic, a book called The Obstacle is the Path. He's written many books. In the Tibetan Buddhism, my personal favorite is Pema Chodron, P-E-M-A-C-H-O-D-R-O-N, Pema Chodron. She's written a dozen books or more. And her books are not telling you what to believe. They're telling you what to do. A very good book to start with is When Things Fall Apart. That's the name of the book. When Things Fall Apart, Pema Chodron. Also on YouTube, good old YouTube, she has lectures and guided meditations in front of her students. So you can look her up on YouTube, right along with Ryan Holiday, and her book, When Things Fall Apart. And that's what I got for you. Thank you.
Would you rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, Wherever You Go? I'll play it once all the way through.
Of Walt Whitman. Not so much a poem, more like a speech. This is what you shall do. Love the earth and the sun and the animals. Despise riches. Give alms to everyone that asks. Stand up for the stupid and crazy. Devote your income and labor to others. Hate tyrants. Argue not concerning God. Have patience and indulgence towards the people. Take off your hat to nothing, known or unknown, or to any man or number of men. Go freely with powerful, uneducated persons, and with the young, and with the mothers of families. Read these leaves in the open air every season of the year of your life. Re-examine all that you have been told at school or church or in any book. Dismiss whatever insults your own soul. And your very flesh shall be a great poem, and have the richest fluency, not only in its words, but in the silent lines of its lips and face, and between the lashes of your eyes, and in every motion and joint of your body.